What is going on, guys? It is Dan Man, aka Daniel's son, and we are back for another episode of Invincible. This is a Robert Kirkman created. First of all, it was a comic. Now it is on Amazon Prime as an animated TV series. And so, spoiler review for episode 6. I gotta say, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the episode. I don't think it was something to really go crazy nuts over, but it was a really nice, enjoyable episode. But there is a lot of things that shit is about to go down in these couple of episodes because they really set up a lot of good stuff. And I appreciate the fact that this episode to me wasn't beating around the bush. It was so understandably really just things that happened in this episode, like let's say Mark's friend William really catching on that you're fucking invincible in this episode was great. He really, instead of not knowing who this guy is, like this is his best friend, he should find out. And he should just like kind of look at him in the costume and notice that you're fucking Mark. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate that we're really going full forward on Debbie is such a smart cookie, and they didn't linger on the her finding out. I really loved how she gets to like crack it with the tailor in this episode, and Nolan is there. They didn't really beat around the bush. They really addressed that issue in this episode. So just overall, going from the beginning though, what I really enjoyed is I actually think they're doing a really good job with the love triangle with Amber, Mark, and Eve. I like Eve. I definitely understand the two sides of her and her father, and why her father wants her to just live a normal life, and he regretted the day she got powers was the day where it was the biggest disappointment. Like he does not want his daughter to be in harm's way, and he can understand that. I mean, he could be brash, he could be cold. Even Eve says that's kind of that's kind of cold, Dad. But then you understand Eve's situation where she wants to help. She knows she has these powers. She's living rent free right now. She wants to be more. She doesn't have to go the safe route. She wants to do more. She has these gifts. So I really understand that as well. So I do like the dynamic of Eve's situation. It's going to be interesting what happens with her going down the line, but I do like the relationship that her and Mark have because they have such a good friendship at first. I'm assuming they're going to hook up. I'm assuming they're going to get together later on. But I do like the established friendship right now. But it's kind of sad because I really like Amber. I really like Amber and Mark together. And I really like that dynamic too. Now, the thing that kind of frustrates me though is I guess, you don't want to shout out to the world that you are a superhero. But with Mark, he needs to tell Amber, right? He needs to tell Amber that he's invincible. Amber is she's such a likable character because she's really down to earth. She doesn't like to put up with a lot of shit that Mark puts her through. She understands her worth. She understands that, I think she's smart too. I think she knows that something has to be else. I think she knows a little bit, maybe. I think, but they're not really showing that in the show. They're not really showing her cracking it like William did in this. I thought she was gonna figure out that you're invincible too, especially with Invincible happened to be at the same university, saving them. So I was really shocked that they didn't really have Amber figure it out either. Maybe she does know. Maybe it's like a Mary Jane situation where she knew all along, but it doesn't seem like it. I do like the relationship though with her and Mark. I think it works. It was very enjoyable in this episode. You really root for Mark and Amber. Maybe some people root for Eve and Mark. That's fine too. I do, because this triangle they're doing, usually it's lopsided, right? When they do a love triangle in a lot of series, and including anime, you like one girl over the other. But I think both the girls are really great, and I think they both have their strengths. And I think the voice acting is still so amazing in this series. I love Steven Yin as Mark. He, every time he's talking, he doesn't feel like, I know him as Glenn from The Walking Dead, but he really brings this character to life. He really makes you kind of like root for him, and you understand him and you relate to him. You know, his struggles, his balance of just in life in general. The dude gets his ass kicked a lot though in this series so far. Mark once again could not handle the villains in this episode. He got his ass whooped, and it's the inexperience. It's Nolan. Nolan knows that. Nolan knows he needs to train. Nolan knows he's just not there yet, which we'll get to Nolan in a minute. But with Mark, he is constantly getting his ass kicked. So he's just not there yet. He's not there. I don't think he's close to there. He still doesn't, there's no technique in his fights. There's no strategy. He's still just kind of a brawler at this point. But the voice acting is so fantastic. And Mark as a character, and a lot of these characters are very enjoyable. The voice acting surprise in this episode was, I was like, what the, who is the voice of this? He sound, I could hear it, but I can't pinpoint it. And I love about Amazon Prime is if you're watching on your device, if you push on it, or even if like on the TV, I think they will show you the names of the characters that you're watching. And the Sinclair is a character that we get introduced who is a pompous asshole in this university who's turning a lot of people into like these cyborgs kind of things. He was voiced by Ezra Miller, and I was like, holy shit, that was Ezra Miller. So Ezra Miller is in this episode voicing Sinclair. So I thought that was really a good treat. I thought the villain was a little weak though. I thought that that character could have been a little bit more fleshed out, honestly, but the voice acting was pretty nice. And they do have a nice little story between, so William does something in this series, Mark's friend. Like I said, I love the part when Mark has to, save him from Pickle Rick. That's right. Rick Sanchez, the voice actor who plays Rick Sanchez, I think it's Dustin something. He's one of their one of our newer characters that we get introduced in the beginning of the show, where the plot really goes. He's like the son of the son of the guy who owns half of the university. He gets turned into like that cyborg thing. He ends up killing himself in this episode, which was pretty brutal. But yeah, so we get another guest, and that's Pickle Rick. It was great to know you could hear Rick Sanchez in this episode, but it wasn't like overbearing. Like the voice actor was trying to like, tone it down with the Rickness. So I appreciate that. But William does, William right off the bat finds, like, he looks at Invincible. He's like, "You're Mark," and I really appreciated that. Mark was focused more on Amber in this episode, so not being a really good friend to William when William said that his lover was kidnapped, and that was Rick, which is funny going back to Rick. So he has to take it upon himself to try to like find out what's going on, and then Mark comes and saves the day. But William does a great job too. He kicks Sinclair's ass in this episode, and I really like the enthusiasm of him being the friend of the superhero. I'm just kind of curious if he might get superhero or superpowers later on as well. So but I think he's been so absent in these last episodes. Even Mark says, we haven't really hung out, maybe we should go check a movie together and stuff. So it's great to see more of what their friendship is like and how enthusiastic William is. He is that kind of friend where he seems like the guy in the chair on the computer, but so enthusiastic for Mark. So I really appreciate showing that aspect to it. The big thing in this episode, though, was Debbie finding out that Nolan murdered, Hawk Girl, Immortal, Darkwing, like the whole like Justice League type crew. And I like how she went to the tailor, right? And then the tailor's like, and that voiced by Mark Hamill, and he's straight out like, yeah, look at this. This is. He's just kind of going through all the blood and the old blood and really pinpointing like, yeah, this is Nolan made the first move. I like the scene where Nolan or Omni-Man is just straight out listening to this conversation. That's the creepiness of Omni-Man, right? He's still calm, cool, collected, but he has that rage in him. He could absolutely murder everybody, but he doesn't do it. There's still a little humanity in him. I just really truly do think he loves his family. He loves Debbie. You see that in the episode where he really he's still playing dumb. I mean, he can't really confess, right? If he confesses, it's all over. So he has to really play dumb. But I really appreciate the fact that Debbie is such a smart cookie that she really investigated this, and they didn't beat over the bush where she didn't tell Nolan that she found out. Like when Nolan comes through that door, she straight out says, "Why did you do it? Why did you murder all those people?" And she doesn't tell anybody else, and the loyalty is still there. But I absolutely enjoyed that. They didn't beat around the bush, and she straight out tells Nolan, "I fucking know. I know you murdered everybody." So that was great. And Nolan's reaction was great too. Like, "You're drunk." And then when she throws the wine bottle, he catches it. But he doesn't do anything until like she goes upstairs, and like he just punches the wall, like the anger inside of him, but he's so frustrated too. And the question is, why? Exactly. Why did he do it? Why did he do it? Why did he murder all his so-called friends, you know? I absolutely love the dialogue between, or the conversation with him and the tailor. He doesn't, I thought he's going to kill the tailor, which I was hoping he did not. He might have still have, and we won't know until later on. But it's just great to know that it was just more of threatening him, which I really appreciate. Cause I don't think Nolan really wants to, he's not doing stuff just to have this sick like agenda he had. Well, he does have a sick agenda, but he doesn't do stuff just out of just to do it. He's calculated. There's a motive. I think he does things for a reason. So interesting stuff. Omni-Man is probably one of the most, this is why the show goes, is as much as we like Mark, we want to know what the fuck is Omni-Man up to and what is going on. The conversation with him and Cecil was fantastic. You know, Cecil, oh man, I think he's gonna die. I like Cecil. Walter Goggins is doing a fantastic job, and Cecil is like one of my favorite characters in here. So the way that Omni-Man looked at him, he's gonna kill him. It's just in the books, right? Another thing was we're seeing the recovery. I thought Black Samson was gonna die. I thought he was dead, but apparently he survived and he recovered quickly, and he's actually better than ever. So that was interesting. Robot having feelings for Monster Girl, that is an interesting, weird kind of dynamic there. But Robot staying in Monster Girl's side through the whole time. Monster Girl was probably the worst out of all the members, which is kind of crazy because Mark recovered too, but we all knew Mark was going to recover fast. I'm glad that he's not a clone. It's not a Spider-Man kind of thing. So Robot, I think it's a little jarring though. I know they have like a little bit of connection there because they're both kind of monsters and they're misunderstood. It's still kind of weird that Robot has these emotions. Even Black Samson said like, do you have emotions like this? It's odd. It's very odd. So I kind of want to see where it goes and what's going to happen, but it's very, very odd. And remember, Monster Girl, even though she's like 25, she looks like she's fucking 15. So it's very odd on that part too. All in all, and then you got the Mauler twins and Robot's whole situation trying to bring back this, I don't know what the hell. It looked like a Teenage Mutant Turtle villain. And the fact that he's using the Mauler twins are doing some, they're cloning, or they're bringing a clone or something like that to life, or they're regenerating a body. They're gonna go get another body for insurance. So I think it was a Mortal Man they were gonna get. So that's all interesting as well. I don't know what the hell's going on with Robot's plan, and then Omni-Man. It's a lot of things that are going to come into play in the next couple of episodes, especially now that Debbie knows about Omni-Man. So how they're going to play that card. It's crazy, right? It's some crazy shit. But the episode itself was great. I mean, it was good. You got a lot of the relationship status between Mark and Amber. You know what Mark wants to do, go to university. That was nice. You get more of his friend William, see what William, more of their friendship. I thought the villains were a little weak. The voice acting though was still very stellar. I really am more intrigued of Omni-Man and everything that's going around Mark in this episode, which is kind of, I still like Mark, but his story in this one was a little bit like I wasn't as interested and engaged as everything else that was surrounding him. So overall, a good episode. I'm looking forward to see what comes ahead with a lot of things that just opened the door. It opened the door to possibilities. So I'm just absolutely interested. I need to see Mark improve Get me some technique, Mark. I mean, you're still new at the game, so I want to see him improve as well. I want to see his relationships and them grow with Amber, Eve, even like the this new kind of like Justice League that they're forming. Was it the what do they call themselves? The Guardians or something like that. So, and especially that Debbie knows what will happen when Mark finds out about Omni-Man. So, or his dad Nolan. Interesting stuff. If I had to rate it, I would give it a. This is a solid 7 out of 10. It was definitely enjoyable, but nothing to go crazy about. But a solid 7 out of 10. I did really enjoy it. It's a good episode. So we'll see about next week. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because I not only have Invincible reviews, but I have movie reviews, TV show reviews. I have a lot of tribute videos, reviews on chips, snacks, and all that good stuff. So you're here at the Pop Culture channel. Everything you need, I have. Like the video to support the channel, let it grow, let the algorithm, whatever it's called, let it show this channel off to everybody, to all your friends, tell your friends. And also, you can find me on Instagram at DanMan Reviews and Twitch, DanMan80528. So, until next time, guys, I'm DanMan, and I'm out here.